Mel Gibson. I'm going to make a video that you've already started. You just don't know it. I'm going to make a video where I take a date down to whatever federal pen Mark Brandon is in. And I think legally we can get a double date because he's doing live, and they can set it up where 4 people get in the same room, 2 men, 2 women, and they have a civil, date at the park. They eat lunch and then they go on their way, and because we'd only be allowed so much time with Mark, even though Mark played the real life Mel Gibson in Tequila Sunrise. He was that guy to Hank Roan, because I was good friends with Mark, and I was over at his house, and I held that white Siberian baby Bengal tiger in my arms and put it down and made it purr, just like I do with cats. And the cat ate it up. And so I'd be willing, Joe Rogan, to do the following: Fear Factor, going into a cage with a lion, a white Siberian baby tiger, going in, and it wasn't a lion, it was a white Siberian tiger as a cub, and going in and seeing if she reminds me or remembers me, and making her purr again. You know what I'm saying? And having it set up to, I get more points the farther I get, they have barriers all the way up to, crossing, her threshold. I can let her sniff my hand, her constrained, and start to make her purr without really committing to it. And then, saying Brano, 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 because I bet you she heard Brano. That's what people call them. Or was she hearing Mark? I'll talk to Mark Brandon in whatever federal pen he's in LA County, and he's in a federal pen, and he's doing live, and he is Mel Gibson in Tequila Sunrise. And how dangerous is it? I don't know. It's a federal pen, I believe, because he got caught with so much money and so much product, and so he's doing a life term. And I'm going to make a date of it. It's going to be funded. I'm going to already go on a date. Where are we going? We're going out on a date, and we're going to videotape it and then put it up. And the lucky recipient is going to go down to Juanita's in a badass car that's probably rented, unless somebody lets me borrow theirs. Yeah, it's so hot, I'm leaking. I could walk the yard at a level 4 prison, and I would be considered I would be a conduit between the races, because I'm friends with Spider from Nuestra Familia, and he offered, you can actually see my guy, if you want to, and do business. And I like to take advantage of that to Nuestra Familia and to all Norteños out there. My number is 760-809-1744. That's 809-1744. I was thinking about my previous phone that I lost, and lost contact with the previous video that I did to you guys, saying that you should go and spend $10 at Trader Joe's for an ounce of their stevia, and put a teaspoon in a third filled blender of water and blend, and it'll triple in size, and fill that blender to the top with a white soup. That's a miracle. That's what they make movies out of. And it's cold fusion. It's water turning into a gas that can actually deliver power. But it should have been named cold fission, since fusion, I don't know what they were thinking when they named it, but Steve just putting water into a natural gas is more of a cold fission, but it's the same principle. Yeah, and I just called my son, and he didn't pick up again, and I'm wondering if he got pissed off because I was telling people that anyone in the link of the chain that leads to me curing a cancer victim and bringing him back into perfect health, anybody who's a link in the chain of that right there that leads to me being a billionaire is gonna get a house, a car, and $100,000 off the top of the 30 billion that I get when I ask for a loan based on projected future sales of the Fountain of Youth. And you know, I offered it to his younger brother Joy. And I'm wondering if that's why they haven't picked up in a week now. You know, they're working, but what is the reason? I wonder. I'm betting it's the joy angle. And back to Nuestra Familia. I'm gonna make a movie before you guys even probably see this. Maybe this video will it'll get enough attention where somebody in the Norteño community, or even higher up to the ranks of Nuestra Familia, the higher up you go, you know, you go to different parties, and isn't there a member of the ranking organization at every Norteño party, just to see how things go and to have fun? Isn't that part of the plan? I would like to have dinner, a spread with Spider at Supermax Prison, to an attorney out there that gets wind of this movie potential. You know, how many tickets would it sell if Dan Quinn, who's discovered cold fusion fission, goes and eats with Spider and his girlfriend, some woman he picks. I pay for it, and the guard set it up so we go into a room and it's just the four of us, and we have a spread and break bread. You know, would we have been allowed to do that if you guys had invited me to your cell? What I should have done is said, listen, if I show up with, did they have salamis and soups and chips and more than enough to cover with what I'm gonna eat? Can I be invited to your next spread? You know, when they open the doors and the doors stayed open, you know, and you could go behind closed doors, you know, were you allowed if you weren't a member of that room? I'm not sure. But yeah, so Joe Rogan gonna do a video of me visiting Spider and revisiting what happened when I knocked Taz out, and Taz throwing his knife without a minder to pick it up, and the police did. And I don't think it would be my fault. I think that they should have had a minder, you know, with a cell fight, because if they draw blood, they can still, well, they can't open the door. That's right. and to get rid of it. They could try to flush it, but they wouldn't, probably because there's a barrier, because they thought about that in the planning. I think there's a grate that water passes through that catches knives. I'm thinking, because the Mexicans got caught with like 14 knives, I was told, by Bryce Peeler from Grass Valley, California. What's up, my brother? You know what? Yeah, let's fucking get a house together, and we'll go on the mission that I was telling you about, changing the world and saving it. And you're like an attorney now. You turned yourself into one behind bars, and that's perfect, because we'll have $30 billion, and we'll have $30 billion to do good. And a lot of that money is going to be spent building big blenders around the planet. But how many blenders would $30 billion blend across America? And then when it caught on, the towns would want to build their own on the strength, just to get on so they didn't have to get on a list, so they could get all the poison out of their bodies, and then try to see if the government would pick up the tab. How much would it take? Because I can prove that our water system is horribly polluted with, if I was to blend all the hidden toxins out of this, it would be below the red. And that's a scary thing, considering that's a microcosm of Earth and its water supply. Do the figures. We're gonna have to allow all the water at the North and the South Pole that's trapped in ice melt back into the ecosystem to sustain a level of humans that we have now, because we're gonna have to, instead of Will Smith, what's up, Will Smith? Couldn't you have slapped Chris Rock at, I think it would have been better if you said, you know what, we were gonna go to the same after party, but since you fucking just dissed Jada, and saying this to the audience, the next time I see you, I'm gonna bitch slap you. I would do it in front of everybody, trust and believe that, but they might sanction me in some way, especially because I'm black, and they gotta teach a lesson. I think 10 years, is way the fuck out of line. Yeah, and I already said that stevia on a video with Andrew that he's gonna put up on YouTube, and I'm gonna copy it on my channel. I say that stevia turning water into a potentially free gas that you can make at your house, because all you gotta do is put stevia in water and somehow blend it. You can turn it into a fuel. They can make cars that run off that white soup that stevia causes water to silently explode into. They can make engines that run off of split H2O natural gas. Craig Tusher, Mormon at the Deacon Church. You owe me $5 million. We did a video where I told Andrew that you and I did a handshake on the football field the night before we played Lincoln and Steve Taylor, that would go to Nebraska and lead them to 2 national championships. So there was many scouts there that saw me catch him. After I thought I knocked him out, I hit him so hard, I didn't wrap up. He was knocked, 2.5 yards back, and then caught himself. And when he hit the sideline, I was there, and he stopped and went past. So I had the speed to cover black guys all over the field, because I was faster than they were, and I was white. And they talked about me years after I was at Notre Dame. And I'm talking about people that were there when I was there. They said about me for years because I got kicked out for an attempted rape that never happened. The priest's testimony proved I was innocent. Their story was that girl, in 4 minutes, we were behind a door. The stereo was playing so loud for the priest couldn't hear her screams for help, but she forgot the priest was there. And so the priest's testimony was, in this 4-minute time span, that I was in the room. You know, we were still, I had my hands on her pussy through her underwear, which is a natural, you know, I mean, petting. That's, what's up, brother? I'm doing a video and I'm telling them that I was at Notre Dame and I was behind the closed doors for tops 3-4 minutes before I was with a girl behind. I was with a girl. There was a big party going on, and then they could see that I was into this girl. I think we were kissing, and so they left and left us alone. And I had witnesses to that fact. And in the 4 minutes that we were alone, there was a knock at the door. I'll tell you what, homeboy, it was a knock from God, because the story that they told the administration was that I was trying to, my stereo was playing so loud, her cries for help couldn't be heard. And his story was that it was silent. You feel me? And, you know, so I should have been a millionaire off of getting expelled for something that their own priest testimony proved was innocent, the jury verdict. So we can make a video, the Catholic priests costing millions of lives because they sent me into a tailspin because my family didn't financially back me up, where I would have been, how many millions of dollars do you, if you run a jury, and I was at Notre Dame, and I had just had 2.5 sacks in a spring game, which is a scrimmage game. It's like you're playing guys that are college ready, you know. The guy that I was going against actually ended up going pro to the New England Patriots, Tom Raider, and he played like for 3 seasons. All right. Anyways, I got him for 2.5 sacks. You realize how high that is for a game, right? Yeah. Okay. And I had a scout tell me that if I didn't get hurt, that I was a first rounder, potentially top 5 first rounder, you know, where people are paying attention. I mean, people nationally pay attention, you know, if you get ranked in the top 5, but most of them don't pay attention to everybody who is drafted in the first round. You feel me? When you're watching the draft, you know, people remember first rounders. And I would have been a first round pick. So I'm gonna go 20 minutes on this. And in closing, brother, this is, the title is gonna be Wanted, One Woman for Date to be put on film.
Okay, he's just small ice cream. That one over there.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is what Andrew gave me.
Oh, perfect.
Here. Andrew it's stained glass. That's kind of classy, don't you think?
Yeah.
It beats a bowl when you're having a date, you know. And how would you like to go on double date with me, you and someone you choose, and me and someone I choose, and we'll do a couple of videos to have people put in there, you know, if they were making a movie of this date, people scripting it, you know, what would be the funnest thing to do. And simple enough, a double date for dinner when you're hungry, to a badass restaurant. You know, we were talking about where would you go if you had a couple $100? Where would you go to dinner with a foursome?
Probably some kind of steakhouse.
Yeah, so some kind of steakhouse, you know, and there we can plan. You know, I was thinking about planning before this started something that was fun, not like horse riding because it's too hot, you know, unless you're going in the morning. But you know, I don't really want to do horse riding, but some fun activity that two couples can do, that, you know, like laser tag, you know, or something, you know, maybe not. But, you know, what would your suggestion be for a fun activity before eating dinner?
I'm about to say, walk on the beach.
Walk on the beach, or how about hitting balls at the driving range?
Yeah, there we go.
You like that? You already told me that you like doing that, right?
Yeah. Not very good at it, but that's okay.
No, you're not. Oh, you know what? I just try to light the look what I did. I did the filter. You want another American Spirit?
Sure.
American Spirit. My number is 760-809-1744.
Thank you.
I would be a good spokesperson because, you know, eventually I'm going to copy you guys and make a cigarette that has tobacco in it with no additives like you, and sell it for maybe $3 a pack, and it's exactly like what you guys do. You know, I'm going to do that with part of the $30 billion that I asked for in a loan. And did you see Maria's sister?
No.
Oh my God! Ask Janet. She is absolutely stunning, homeboy. She is movie ready. You know, she's so fine. And I don't think she was wearing any makeup. But I'm gonna do a video. I'll do a video. If she don't want to be in the video, she can still be the woman that goes to Juanita's with me. I'm actually gonna go to Juanita's and set up a series of dates with different women. And Juanita's is a restaurant that should be replicated. They should be nationwide because Juanita's is so good that when Taco Bell and every other place in town was open, we chose Juanita's because it was so fucking good. And I was there one night, and I knocked out 4 guys in a span of 15, 20 seconds. Bam, 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 like that. Okay, you know, I was standing at the counter, and my friends, I was the last to order, and it was a large order, so I was the last to get my order. And what they should have done is given us our orders piece by piece. You know what I'm saying? Instead of one order, I should have been sitting down, waiting for the food to come, eating an hors d'oeuvre. But I was standing at the fucking counter, waiting for mine, whatever I got, and I was pushed into it by a guy that was related to a coach of mine in high school. It was a friend of his, and I had just humiliated Mike Karts in front of everybody at this club in town. It was the go-to place, you know, in Encinitas. If you were going out, that's where everybody wanted to go. It was like Elephant Bar, but only better. You feel me? He's nodding his head. Anyways, where was I going? Anyways, yeah, so I had humiliated him verbally. And what I did is I said, "What's up, Mike?" And he went, "Pfft," and I stopped, and I said, "Punk, check this out. I would have fucked you up in high school, and I poked you in your chest when I was a senior and you were a coach. Remember that?" Okay, I was telling him this. Remember that? You know, and I got away with it. And I said, "I'll fuck you up in a fight, push it," you know, because we got into an argument. He was starting somebody in front of my friend, Pete Carroll. People out there, look up Pete Carroll, because Pete Carroll is somebody that I'm going to want in my, I'm not sure how close to the inner circle, but when $30 billion is spent, I want him somewhere in the shower of money, you know, because he was my best friend throughout high school and partway, well, until the end of Notre Dame. And when I got into boxing and we got into a verbal argument that started upstairs, and we walked out and I went down the steps, and, you know, I'm not sure what he said, but I threw a punch, you know, I think a lead right hand, and it was like a jab, but it was a statement, like I can touch you at any fucking time I want to, because I got lightning in my hands, you know, and we haven't talked since, and I'm 56. So how?
No, go back to this. You mentioned something about you mentioned something about, I stopped the subject.
About Nuestra Familia?
No, you were like, you got, excuse me, you got,
Was I talking
you
about
got along more than,
Maria's sister?
no, you got along more with blacks than you did whites.
Yeah, I get along better with blacks than I do whites. You know, I was playing chess with D-Ray from Oak Park Zilla and BGF Black Gorilla Family, right? I was playing chess on a yard,
Okay.
and when I went up to, I wasn't called up to, how about this? I wasn't called up by Gator from the Aryan Brotherhood. I stopped by on my own, you know, to pay my respects.
Yeah.
And he told me that that wasn't done on the yard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And I told him, well, you know what? That's on a level 4 yard, but this is different. This is level 4 guys that don't want to get in trouble and stab, you know, because they just don't want to get in trouble. But I tell you what, when I knocked out Sack Maniac Taz, the Mexicans got searched because Taz threw his knife. Taz was going to come into a cell with my friend Bryce Peeler, my brother, from another mother, from Grass Valley, California. What's up? Dan Quinn 760-809-1744. You know, I wonder if I put Grass Valley in the tags, you know, if somebody will see this and pay it forward. But I'm going to do a date. I'm going to get money behind all these dates. Andrew and I already talked. He's going to put up a GoFundMe for people to donate like $20, $50, $100, depending on where they want their name in the credits, because it's funding a video that's going to fucking be put up on his web channel. It's going to be put up on my YouTube. So it gets mass exposure. But it's going to be a date of, I've already told you this, him and his wife. Andrew is a good-looking guy, okay? He's good-looking enough to the point where he pulled a porn star. I mean, she's that fine. She is absolutely fucking gorgeous, and that's his wife. And so I'm going to go on a date with somebody that we can copy a fun movie of a date, you know, or make our own movie, you know, just do something fun before eating dinner and after eating dinner, you know, maybe golf before dinner, and then, you know, go-karts, which I hear are fun as fuck. You ever been on?
Yeah.
It was fun, wasn't it?
It's real fun.
Would you pay to do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was I bought a go-kart that fit me when I was 230 pounds easily. So I'm sure it would have fit your, how much do you weigh? 300?
315?
315? I'm sure it would, you know, you could fit in it if I could.
Yeah.
You know? I bought it from, one of those stores that fucking sells like an auto parts store, you know. I can't remember which one, but they just
O'Reilly's?
it was like O'Reilly's in Napa, but it was like a private one in Roseville, and because I was living in Roseville at the time, and I bought one, and then what was his name? Tigger from Rancho Cordova. He ended up